football is changing. Goalkeeping is changing as a whole. You don't get 50 minutes with the just the goalkeepers now, and then all of a sudden they're with the team. You might get 15 minutes. They go into a possession game. They come back to you for 10 minutes. They go into small-sided games. They come back. They do, some transition work, whatever it looks like. It's not just goalkeepers go with goalkeepers and then they jump in the team. Now, you'll have days like that, 100%, but it's obviously what the gaffer is asking for on that day. But I think it is integrating them in the environment, being around, if you're playing rondos, 5v2s, if you're in possession drills, you put them in the 7v6s, 5v4s, 5v6s, 11v10s, whatever it looks like. So they can start integrating themselves in. And I did that early doors with Zack because not only did I feel it was important, but I also felt what he is going to be able to bring the group as a whole was also important as well. We have a young team. He is a very experienced player. Will was the same human being. He wanted to be in and around the group, not only on the pitch, but you start talking about video sessions, unit meetings, defenders, back fours with the goalkeepers in them, sixes, defenders with the goalkeepers in them, whole teams. And you're nudging the goalkeepers to say, hey, speak up. If there's something in there that you feel like you need to say it. There's no wrong answer. So I think it is us controlling it a little bit, but also finding the moments to plant the seed and integrate them into those, sessions that can really be affecting the other guys around them too as a team.
Man, I was thinking more of, from from a behavior standpoint, but like you just brought up some really good tangible situations, like suggestions that were so simple. It never even dawned on me, just something as simple as like, hey, brand new goalkeeper, incorporate them into rondos with the outfield players immediately. Wow. Because now I'm just thinking about if that happens, then those players are already going to want to fight for that goalkeeper, and they're going to trust that goalkeeper rather than conceptually told they're supposed to trust that goalkeeper or fight for that goalkeeper.
Such a great point. It is a huge thing. And I think too that you go all the way back to the beginning of the conversation. This is also integrating the young kids into the first team environment. This is also integrating the young academy players, the 12s, the 13s, the 14s into the 17s group, incorporating the 15s and 17s into the R2 or the MLS Next Pro group. Everyone's different. Everyone works in different ways. Everyone has different philosophies and methodologies. But, something for me that I think has worked well at our football club is when the integration period starts to happen is the time they spend. I will pick a day, and it's intentional, where Zack Campagnola, great example. I bring him up on a day we're doing small-sided games and it's competition day. So, and it might be a day where he gets lambasted by the players, but he is going to feel integrated like that. He is going to understand what it feels like to be in a first team environment where winning has to happen, making saves, protecting the goal, organizing defenders. You're going to get some of the backlash of it. It's just how it's going to happen. But I've thrown him into the fire. Does he sink? Does he swim? It can't go any other way from there but up. So it is intentional. You're picking a day where you're asking him to do a lot as a young goalkeeper and throwing him to the wolves, so to speak. But all of a sudden he's like, whoa, this is a whole different environment. Now, hopefully he's grabbing that and taking it back to the 17s group, the will to win, the desire to win, everything. And then obviously put our style of play, our methodologies into the training as a whole.
I have a really quick question. And, obviously we're watching the goalkeepers, training in the environment right there. And obviously Zack's integrated into this team already because it's been a little bit of time right here. But like when you get a new goalkeeper into your environment, there's obviously going to be some hesitation, I'm guessing, even if it's not conscious and subconsciously from other goalkeepers, in the program, especially when you bring in somebody has a resume such as Zack does. How do you make them feel comfortable? How do you make them feel like, hey, this is about your growth too. The reason we brought him in is because this is what he's going to do. And he's going to help you with this too. It's not just, this is all about us and winning points.
100%. And I think, Mike, that comes back to the connection you have with the human being prior to him ever coming in. I called Zack way back in November. We had a long conversation on the phone. And then across the course of, the rest of the time before he got here, it was text messages, communication. How can I help you? What do you need from the club? Who can I connect you with? Like you are slowly integrating that process into your relationship with that person, and then also finding out about them. And look, for me, Mike, and for all the goalkeeper coaches, I'm sure they'll tell you the same thing. We have 4 or 5 guys to look after on a daily basis, depending on how many you have in your environment. You know, the head coach and the assistant coaches have 28, 29, 30 guys to look after, plus the moving pieces and so on and so forth. So getting to know the guys, the goalkeepers, is so important. You know, Tim, his family, his kids. Will, his wife, his family situation. Zack, his little girl, his wife, his family situation. All this comes into, okay, now I know you. Why did you want to come here? Well, I want to come here because A, I want to win things. B, I want to work with you. C, I want to be back into the national team #1. D, I want to help the environment. Like there is so much to it. So now I've got to mold it all together to make sure that he is, you know, the pathway, the pipeline for him is clear. Okay, what are your goals for 2024? X, Y, Z. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, done. Let's slowly chip away at them and knock them off as we get going. But I think that if they feel like you are in it with them, in it for them, and Tim used to say, and you and I have discussed this at length, he used to say to me all the time, I think there's days where you care more about me than I care about myself. And that is, to me, that is the ultimate compliment, because you want to go above and beyond to make sure these guys feel integrated, loved, that you are there for them and solely for them, and the purpose of the team and the other goalkeepers within the union as well, you know?
Yeah, you know, and by the way, you know, talk about, you know, what you're just bringing up, Tim right there and his family and everything like that. Man, I can't tell you how old I felt when I just saw that his daughter just committed to University of Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
That's
I mean, my wonderful. Gosh, I was like, yeah. Ali, she's a very, very good soccer player. She's a very good basketball player too. But yeah, she's chosen to go the soccer route, and rightly so. She's very, very good.
But couldn't get the gloves on her, huh?
No chance. I think after seeing Dad do it for so many years, there's no chance. She's a very talented young athlete.
Oh my gosh, man. Well, let's do this here. I want to go a little bit through some of these actions and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Is there any specific areas? And first off, can you give a little bit of context of like why you're sharing some of this information, you know, here in regards to these pictures?
Yeah, look, I think it just, you know, we talk about the processes of things, and you know, I guess just to give you a little bit of context on, you know, we talk about integrating experienced goalkeepers into, you know, your environment, your culture. And you can see here, I mean, the blocks here, you've got young Zack Campagnolo, you know, yellow boots on there, Adam and Zack in the small goals right now, Ethan Beaudry behind. So, you know, you've got 2 first-team goalkeepers, a 17-year-old and Ethan, who's the R2 goalkeeper. And the Geordie there is our assistant goalkeeper coach. He is one of the kit men, and he loves to spend time with us. But here in the blocks here, you've got the same 4 guys. You've got Zack Campagnolo, Zack Steffen, Adam Beaudry. I mean, it's a young group of goalkeepers, Ethan Beaudry. But just showing you, you know, this was prior to San Jose, a little bit of match preparation. You know, obviously looking at the way they play, and you know, players like Espinoza and Ebabisi and guys that they look to get in behind with a little bit. We knew that we might have, you know, some work to do in the blocking scenarios, as you can see here, obviously the example. But just, you know, just putting into context that, you know, these young guys are loving working with the experienced players. The way they help. This is just this last week against Cincinnati. This is Miami, at Miami. But, you know, the help, LAFC here, Bawanga. I mean, this is the 46th minute right before halftime. You know, and you can see like the environment you create here, the close knit. It's a little bit of a competition day. It's a bit of fun for them as well. We're obviously working on something specific. They can score on each other. There's rebounds. I think there was coffee and donuts on the line that day for the winner of this. Like, you know, it's just there's so much that they can learn from the experienced guys. And I hate to say it too, or I love to say it, that, you know, Zack's still learning from the young guys as well. There's still things in there that kind of wow him after all he's seen. And it's the same way with Tim, the same way with Will. But just trying to create this togetherness, this environment that these guys can enjoy it, can have fun, can watch each other. And look, to the left, I'm the one serving in the middle there. And to the left of me is the Rapids 2 goalkeeper coach. So I bring him out to be in and around this environment as well. You know, Ethan is training with us, and obviously Ethan is his goalkeeper. But, you know, I like to be all inclusive. You know, you can see over to the far field over there, the Rapids 2 haven't started their goalkeeper session yet. So Brendan will just go from my session and jump across to his session. so it's just the environment, the culture, the all-inclusiveness, and the lads just enjoying each other's company and sharing ideas and thoughts and our philosophy, and obviously match preparation. As you see down the bottom there, match preparation to what you're going to see in the game. And some days we work on IDPs and then, earlier in the week, and then as we get towards the matches, we start to look at the opponents and put into place what we're going to see on the weekend.
I want to bring something up really quickly right here, just nerding out myself here from a technical standpoint.
Yep.
The shapes here that I'm seeing in these close in this close game. It seems to be a trend that I'm seeing a lot more in the game in regards to I don't want to say it almost looks like a crescent type shape that the goalkeepers are making in these tight areas. Hold on, let me see if I can, when I'm watching the goalkeepers here. So, do you just kind of see what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
In their starting shape. Yeah. Okay. So let's see if here. But yeah. Okay. So I'm looking at these shapes right here in these close ranges.
Yep.
Whereas before, for lack of a better term, in the archaic days, it was more of an open hands out to the shape, almost stock type shape.
Yep.
They're almost making more of like a Pac-Man shape. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think, look, a lot of it, and I was going to say a lot of it too, some of it is individual. Some of it is what they're more comfortable with. And I think, like, I'm thinking about goalkeepers in world football right now. Zack and I talk about Alisson Becker a lot. Obviously, he's worked with Edison for the last 4.5 years. And obviously what Eddie provides as a goalkeeper is second to none with his feet and what he's asked to do within the shape of Man City. But, in this scenario you're looking at right now, we talk about Alisson Becker a lot because he has a wonderful ability just to kind of collapse himself around the ball and give you really nothing, where sometimes, I think that we spread as goalkeepers and open up gaps that may not be there otherwise. So this environment right now is just an activation to a bigger space setup where we're just looking at shape, small movements, trying not to get too wide in our stance underneath our shoulders, staying a little bit narrow. But the ability to, I think more and more so, is to affect the ball with purpose, not just let the ball hit you and go wherever, but trying to control the outcome of the ball in these scenarios so you can dominate that moment a little bit more. And obviously the reaction to get up and hold your body shape a little bit and, keep your balance a bit better. And they don't know where I'm going here. I have the option to lay it off to someone to go to another goal. Rebounds can go in another goal, but we talk a lot in my philosophy is protecting what we call the 4-yard goal. So it doesn't matter the space of 4 yards in and around you, whether it's a 1v1, a shot, a cutback, anything like that. We talk in the 4-yard goal. Anything outside of that, we are starting to get into point saving, game winning saves, But just trying to add the philosophy into the game scenario as well.
Zack, you enjoy listening to Sharpie?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What's up, man? Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I think Saskia will be joining us soon, and Adam's got the link, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Sweet. Was today your day off, or was yesterday your day off?
Yesterday was the day off.
Oh, yesterday was the day off. There's Susk.
I got a Colorado hat on. It was the closest I could get.
Repping, I like it. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I was like, which hat should I wear?
Did you go there? Why do you have that?
Oh, I have one of my keepers goes there that I trained. So nice. Wanted to support.
I love that.
Yeah. Good to see you, Zack. No, I'm a Rutgers girl.
Okay, nice. East Coast.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. Born and raised, Jersey all the way. All goalkeepers come to Jersey and go to Rutgers. Goalkeeper U. That's what we want to call it.
Sharpie, what are you doing here?
Hey, mate.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
Is this a surprise? This is a surprise?
I know. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. I didn't know you were gonna be here.
Yeah, I thought I was meant to be on here.
It.
Yeah, no, sure, absolutely, sure, no problem.
What a great surprise!
I was told I was on here.
Oh,
I was told that too. Yeah.
Oh, I was told it was just Zack and Adam. So
there you go. I can exit stage left.
No,
it's all
because
good.
I have to go early, so
she actually has to go early,
great.
so this is actually going to work out perfectly.
There you go.
Now nobody will miss me, so it's fine.
Oh my god!
Oh, right.
Look at this. We got a party going on here, dude. You got to keep a party going on here.
I like it.
I don't know if I've had
What's up, Adam?
fit on this
How's it going?
Good, man. Can you hear us all right?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
All right. Sweet. And by the way, Sharpie says Beaudry. Is it Beaudry or Beaudry?
Beaudry.
Beaudry. Okay.
Beaudry.
That's just the Australian accent coming through? Okay.
Beaudry.
Please don't try to imitate it. Please don't try to imitate it, Mike.
I will not. Beaudry. All right, cool. All right, let's get this going. Susk, I know you got to get out of here soon. So here we go. Welcome to Inside the 18. I'm Michael Magid, live from Hollywood, California. And with me is every goalkeeper in the world, guys. Every goalkeeper in the world is joining us today on Inside the 18. We got a plethora of goalkeepers. We've got two goalkeepers from the Colorado Rapids, Zack, Steffen, which probably doesn't need any introduction to all of our listeners and watchers out there. And then one of the hot prospects in Major League Soccer right now, Adam Beaudry, joining us, and a surprise guest, Sharpie from the Colorado Rapids, the director of goalkeeping himself. I'm not going to lie, guys. This is actually really
By the way,
cool.
hi, I'm here too.
Oh, yes, Suska's here too, and it happens to be her birthday, everybody. It's this
Happy birthday, Sus.
World Cup winner, Saskia Weber, or whatever. You know.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, you guys.
Sus,
Oh
35 again.
Again, 35.
By the way, before we get going,
If I was 35, Sharpie, I would have played in that TST tournament. Not
There you go.
So, speaking of that, Susk, I just wanted to give you a big shout out for that. Congratulations to your Angel City Sevens team that you were the head coach of. You guys had a very successful first year in the TST. Why don't you kind of break that down a little bit for everybody out there who are not familiar?
No, it was awesome. They put together a group of their first women's group, and obviously TSTs for $1 million. Angel City asked me 3 weeks ago to take their team with them. I was going with the U.S. team as one of their 9 coaches. But I said yes, and took a great group of up and coming pros. We did amazing, and we didn't make the semis because of it went head to head, then it went to goal differential, then it went to goals for, and so we lost out to the U.S. to get into the semis, who ended up winning the $1 million, losing a paycheck. But I'm super proud of myself, and it definitely tested all my coaching chops, 100%.
I mean, honestly, it was a lot of fun to watch. I don't know, Adam or Zack, did you guys watch TST at all?
I saw the last. The final. Yeah, the last 10 minutes of that.
But the goal play overtime is the most awesome thing because because we were like, you're winning. So in our last game, we were winning 2-1. So the goal, the first team to 3 wins. So we have to score 1 goal, they have to score 2. And so it was like it still sets you up for that crazy excitement, golden goal type of thing. So I love that. I love that element of it. And then for every 3 minutes that you're in that, they take off 1 player. So we got down to 3v3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I think that's how MLS should do it, Sharpie, right?
Yeah, like the old school PKs. Come back for that one.
Yeah, I was telling Kobe was the other coach. It was me and Kobe Jones, and I was totally bringing that up to him. I was like, "This is like the 1v1 PKs."
The MLS shootout thing, which was actually something I got to experience firsthand trying to do that. You guys are lucky in the league. You guys don't have to do that because that is not an easy thing from a stamina.
No, but
standpoint.
I think it benefits the keeper personally.
Yeah. So Adam, I know everybody out there, I'm sure, is already familiar with like Zack's journey and everything like that. But obviously, you're kind of coming up in the pro game right now. You just had your experience, with the national team and everything like that. How was that all for you?
Yeah, it was good. 1-1-0 both games. So it was a successful week and good to meet all the new guys and see all the guys that old friends, old teammates. But yeah, the team's looking good. Just trying to get ready for CONCACAF in July and going to win a trophy over there.
I like the way you added that. You're like, and just win a trophy. That's all we're looking to do is win that trophy. That's how we got to look in CONCACAF now, guys. Yeah. We got to be expecting to win, regardless of what the age bracket is. Yeah. By the way, guys, feel free to step in and talk anytime. You don't need to wait for me to ask you a question or anything like that. It's really, really casual. But Zack, obviously, you're now in Colorado, with Sharpie. We had Sharpie on a few weeks ago, and he was kind of talking about the whole experience of, you coming over and everything like that. It seems to be working out really, really awesome. You seem to be really digging it and stuff. How about did that kind of come about? I just kind of want to know from your standpoint.
Yeah. So, I was trying to figure out what the best move was for myself or for my family, on and off the field. And, I was looking at options over in England. I was looking at options over here, and the Rapids came up, and talking to the agent, talking to Sharpie, it just seemed like it was a good challenge for myself. And it's been about a good start, and it's been positive. There's been some ups and downs, of course, but I was really just looking for the next challenge for my career and a way to get me back on the national team and back flying. So I'm very happy to be here.
It's funny, Susk, we always talk about this. We always talk about it. It's not necessarily about, where it's not about like where you're playing in regards to like from a league standpoint or a point standpoint or anything like that. It's about an environment that you're going to keep continuing to develop and grow and take your game to that next level. I know obviously that's a conversation that you had in your own career.
No, absolutely. I mean, people say, oh, you could have gone to England. Why didn't you go to England? Or you could have gone to Europe. Like, it's about what's best for you as an individual, and knowing your environment, being with Sharpie, being with the Rapids. And if that is the environment that's going to put you onto the national team and further your career, then that's the one you choose. It's not necessarily, oh, I'm going to go play for Man U. That might not be the right fit. And it's the same on the women's side. I dealt with it over and over again with players that have gone to Europe or come back, and it's just the best move for them in their career to further it.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, obviously this is something, that you were familiar with, Zack, in regards to like your original journey to Germany, then coming back here, playing in Columbus and everything like that kind of took you to another step, in your career, obviously, and I kind of want to segue it kind of into the conversation. And it's cool that Sharpie's here because we talked to him a little bit about this earlier, but, now you're in an environment where it's just Sharpie, you've just done such a great job of creating an environment where regardless of what level you're at in your development, you feel like you're going to kind of grow from it,
Yeah, I think it's important that, it doesn't matter the age or where you're at in your career. You develop a culture that the guys can buy into, that they feel safe in, that they can make mistakes and feel like we can find the answers within those moments, and they can excel. Yeah. And both these guys here have experienced us even bringing in the guys younger than Adam into the first team environment that really look up to both Zack and Adam and Ethan as well. But building that relationship between these guys and the culture, they can feel like they can succeed in on a daily basis.
Yeah, we talked about that when you were on last, because it's, you, and especially like Zack and for Adam, you don't want to be in an environment where you're just like you're just being trained. Like you want to be in an environment that you're growing and around other goalkeepers that help you grow as well. And that's that culture we talked about when you were on last time, Sharpie. And if you that's exactly why, Zack is excelling and Adam as well. So don't put yourself in, I say that all the time, don't put yourself in an environment where you're just cruising.
No. Yeah, I do think too, Sas, to be honest, from our side, when I say our side, I'm talking about the coaching side of it too. You're also recruiting good human beings.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Zack's had the career he's had, and he's going to have another hell of a 10 years in front of him. But you're also recruiting the person as well, because that person is going to help build that culture, within the goalkeeper group and within the locker room, but also allow the youngsters to see exactly what a good person and a good teammate looks like, so they can build and develop themselves as well.
No, 100%.
By the way, I love the fact that you're like, bringing in goalkeepers, even younger than Adam. It's like Adam's like this grizzled veteran now in the environment.
Like
he's like, yeah. Look at me. He's like, look, I'm only a few years away from being able to rent a car. I'm still,
he's only a couple of months away from his 15th birthday, so it's all good.
Oh my God. Zack, I actually, one of the funniest things about that is that what Sharpie was talking about is demanding and everything like that. As a veteran goalkeeper, and, we'll talk about it more when we really get into the topic and everything, but I'm just thinking, I can't tell you how many times I've been in an environment where it's like people are scared to coach somebody that's got the accolades as yourself, somebody who's played at the level as yourself. They walk on eggshells, they're worried about, it's like, we just want to make sure that he can play this weekend. I don't want to ruffle any feathers type of a thing. And obviously it's not like that with Sharpie at all.
Mm-hmm. No, not at all. Which is amazing. And because it goes two ways in relationship, and like, I have to be willing to learn and get better and be open-minded, and he has to be willing to push me. And even when I don't want to be pushed and I'm tired, so we're still growing in that relationship. But we're definitely getting there. And yeah, I mean, Sharpie's has just been class from the jump.
But that's the environment as well that you want, because, like you said, Sharpie, it's a good human beings. You wouldn't be brought in if you are that person that makes a coach feel they need to walk on eggshells, feel you don't want to grow anymore and develop, and kind of have that narcissistic attitude, like, I have this career, I know more than you. You can't teach me anything. And you wouldn't be there.
I think Sas, it's that subservient kind of, for both me and the goalkeepers to willing to keep learning. I'm learning every day from these guys.
Yes.
These guys hopefully are learning every day from me. Z and I had a conversation day before last about learning and our relationship, and it's just continuing to grow on the field, off the field. Like Z just said, our relationship is only 6 months young.
And you don't want players you're younger, but you don't want Adam to be in an environment to see something. He's not going to grow if he's in that kind of an environment.
Yeah. I think that's the segue into what you're talking about today. But these two guys' relationship on the football field is fantastic. Yeah. They push each other every single day.
I mean, that's how my relationship was with Bri for 10 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's incredible.
By the way, when you said, Zack, playing for another 10 years, Zack was looking, he's like, 10 years, 15, 20.
Maybe I
got a lot in the tank.
A beach team.
TST 2042.
TST's brutal on the keeper. I don't know what you're talking about.
I
know. No matter how small the goal is.
Oh no, it's definitely brutal. I mean, sevens is no joke. So let's kind of get into that topic today, guys. And like that again, like the topic today is kind of like the veteran goalkeepers' kind of role in the learning environment and how their behaviors benefit the young professionals. First up, before we kind of get into Zack, Adam, what do you benefit from being in a learning environment with somebody who has played at the level that Zack has?
I mean, everything. It's just being open to everything, and him coming in, just his demeanor and what he does every day, just be able to watch him and be that close up, and trying to help push him also. But yeah, you can take everything in and just learn from it. But also at the same time, keep trying to push him, because he's also trying to get better too. So
yeah.
But it's been great being able to work with Zack and getting to know him too and the great person he is, and how humble he is, and also how hard he works. So it's been really, really nice to be able to see that up close and learn from that.
Yeah, I think one of the really cool things about that, Zack, is like, obviously the youth landscape was different when you were coming up. than when Adam is coming up right now in regards to the MLS Next, obviously with MLS Next Pro, all of that. You didn't have those sorts of opportunities, when you were a younger player, but you were a highly ranked prospect and you were training in a professional environment a lot. You had the opportunities to go with the youth national teams and go to Europe and all that sort of stuff. So because you kind of have seen it from that standpoint, like, has it been something where you're like, oh man, this takes me back. I know how to talk to Adam about this. Let me chat with you before you go to this camp, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty crazy. I mean, having a 17-year-old that, yeah, that's kind of like under my wing, and yeah, talking about, I mean, his first date and all that stuff. So it is.
You can't take him out for a beer, though.
No. We'll wait for that. No, it is really fascinating and really cool to be around. I mean, Adam's an amazing kid, so professional and so driven, and he's a great goalkeeper. So it's great to work with him every day. And I did the same thing. I looked up to Ederson. I was watching him like a hawk, trying to learn from him. And so I see my role as being Ederson for Adam. And so I just try to show up every day in training and do my best. And yeah, I just try to talk through saves, goals against, everything. And we're just trying to do our best to improve and win as many games as we can.
Sharpie, this is something that you brought up in the last podcast when you were talking about kind of like the relationship with Zack, is that like, sometimes it's like, it's not about just, him talking off the field, but it's the communication, in the training environment. And I don't want to say as like an assistant coach or type of a thing, but like, kind of like, he's seen a lot, he's been through a lot, and he's going to be able to provide a good amount of feedback that's going to help continue to develop these sessions for not only for him to grow, but for the younger kids to grow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think too, there's times, and you'll see it kind of eventuate organically, but there's times where these guys, like even today in our session this morning, we're in the middle of session and they'll start their conversation about the play that just happened, or a save that was just made, or a goal that was just scored, and they'll carry their conversation on for a couple of minutes. And I like to let them go. I don't want to interject. I don't want to intervene. Sometimes I can hear what they're talking about. Sometimes I'm far enough away that I can't. But I think that those moments are important. Ads may turn to Zack and ask him what he thought. Z may even turn to Ads and Ethan jumps in or whatever it is. But those relationships for me as a coach are unbelievably important for these guys to kind of organically develop together so they can lean on each other in times. And it's wonderful for me too. It's not just my voice that's always coming out either, as well as these guys are leaning on each other for a little bits of pieces and moments. And, maybe they have a different angle to the save or the they're close to each other on the crosses or whatever it is. I'm the one serving the balls. But those relationships develop organically in those moments, which I think is fantastic as well. And I think we as coaches have to let them grow too.
No, I we talked about that last time, like even with my UCLA girls and then, pro and stuff. It's just to be able to step back as a coach and watch those conversations happen and just listen in. And that relationship that Zack, Adam, your other keepers have, that helps develop them monumentally as well. Like, and to be comfortable, Adam, to be comfortable with taking instruction from Zack, and even, I don't know, but even vice versa, just to be able to have those open conversations just makes that climate and that core of goalkeeping so special. Like you're there to support each other.
I think even in the video room too, these guys come in and, if we're watching Z's video, Adam and Ethan come in and they're all talking about the moments. I'll offer the option of what I think in these moments, what they did well, what we could do better. And then these guys will kind of collaborate a little bit on, and I'll ask Adam a situation that Zack's been in. What does he think here? And these guys are so comfortable. Again, I think you go back to the original conversation we had about the environment you create. That's part of it too. And these guys kind of just build it organically.
Someone just made a comment right there, Sharpie, about yourself and how very few goalkeeper coaches are as inclusive and abundant as you are, Chris. And without tooting your own horn, that is the type of things that we're talking about. I mean, I honestly love to hear things, Adam, like, you and I'm not going to say Z. We're not close enough to say that. I'll just say Zack. have off away from Sharpie, because that means that it's not a forced relationship. That means that it's happening organically, because there's nothing worse than when like a coach tries to bring players together and it's just awkward.
It's like
Susk knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Listen, Brian and I were great, and a few other goalkeepers. There are some awkward ones there too.
That's part of the learning process for us too, though, Saf, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not calling it out. There were some awkward
Yeah.
goalkeepers.
Yeah,
Let's say
for
they
sure.
didn't stick around as long.
So Adam, what kind of advice do you give Zack, you know, in the film room, you know, because I kind of want to hear, like, from your perspective, are you looking at it like, and I'm sure at first it's a little daunting. You're like, well, I mean, I don't know. It looks awesome to me. It looks pretty sick to me. I'd like to be able to do that, you know, but how do you kind of do it from an unbiased kind of position?
I mean, I think when we're in the video room, it's just kind of just talking through things, and it's not really giving advice. It's just kind of just talking through things and giving kind of ideas, and everyone's just learning from it. And we're all watching the same thing, and we're all kind of in the room and just trying to get better. So I think it's just everyone having an open mind to the ideas, and because the final picture is just trying to get better from what we're watching.
Yeah, it's very collaborative and a collective. And I think I believe that in order to be successful as goalkeepers and a goalkeeping group, because it is such a lonely position and hard position, and the only people that really understand it are the goalkeepers, that you got to stick together and support each other, and be there for one another always.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of being there for one another, I'm going to be there for Saskia and give her a quality out, because she's got to catch a flight, guys. Unfortunately, you know the life of a broadcaster. It's just on. Go.
I gotta catch. I actually right now have to catch a boat to South Florida the way it's flooded. So, wish me luck.
But
guys, awesome. I wish I could stay on forever, but just, you know, Sharpie, love ya, you guys. I'm such fans, and Zack, Adam, you guys just keep kicking ass. I'm allowed to say
Thanks, good to see you. Travel safely.
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hey, mate. Bye.
Oh man. So now when we do this, now when I put the images back up on the screen, oh no, Adam is still covered up. Okay, I see how that works out, dude. I feel like this is intentional. Like, we're intentionally trolling Adam. That when we put up the training footage, you can barely see him right over here. So for those of you guys who kind of watched the episode, you know, a few weeks ago with Sharpie when he was on and he was sharing some of this footage and everything like that, this is the learning environment that we're talking about. Now, Sharpie, how much collaboration is there between Adam and Zack in regards to these session designs, or is it more after the sessions are kind of being put together, you discuss it with Zack and then or Adam, or however?
Yeah, I think as far as the collaboration is concerned, I think it's more me in the mornings just to say, guys, this is what we're going to be working on today. This is what we're looking at. This is what we're looking for. It probably depends on what day of the week it is. I mean, match day -2, -3, we're usually looking at opposition, what they're going to see from maybe the front four, through balls, shots, so on and so forth, 1v1s. Thursday, potentially from the crosses, cutbacks, reaction type areas. Match day -1 is always the starting goalkeeper's day. And then usually our Tuesdays where, you know, either moving pieces again around, just obviously looking at maybe Adam and Ethan's day, and Z's just kind of a bring back day, just depending on how the week is planning out. But then after, obviously always we're discussing throughout the course of the training session and course of the exercises what we're trying to achieve and what we're looking to achieve on the weekend against the opponent.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that in regards to all that. Like, Zack, kind of before the season started and everything like that, and obviously new relationship with Sharpie and everything like that. Like, did you guys kind of map out the template for your kind of development for your IDP for the entire season, and then you've kind of been going kind of based off that?
Yeah, absolutely. Sharpie's detailed and very strategic, and yeah, from day one, he's seen thousands of my clips and games, so he knows the type of goalkeeper that that I am on TV, and now he's getting to know the person I am. And then obviously training every day, so he's learning more and more. But yeah, he's had a whole plan for the season, and then we just go based on how the games are going, how the weeks are going, training and everything. Anything I need to work on, we'll adapt and we'll update as we go. But now Sharpie's he's on it, and he's detailed, and yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible.
So Adam, I have a question for you, because obviously you kind of go back and forth. Obviously you spend a lot of time with the Rapids too, getting games and everything like that. How often are you in the first team environment versus with the developmental environment?
I mean, I would say with the first team, it's every day of the week, and with the games too, and then I go with the second team with their game on Sunday if I can. Obviously, that depends on what our schedule is. But yeah, it's with them, with the first team, mainly every day of the week, and then depending on what my schedule is for the weekend.
So is that challenging for you though? Because I've spoken to some players, kind of who are playing with the twos type of thing, and they're in the first team environment the whole week. They go back with the twos, and it's like different voices, a little unfamiliarity. Because not saying that the first team environment is solely for Zack's development, but the match plans are geared towards success in the weekend, and Zack is the one that's playing on the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I love the chaos of going between both, and learning the personalities of each player, and getting to know each and every one, and what their tendencies are, and how I can help them. But yeah, for me, I just love the chaos, and being to go back and forth and also get those minutes has helped me a lot, because especially as a goalkeeper, you need minutes, and you need game time and experience. So to be able to get that through the second team, and being able to go in and also get the trainings in with the first team, it's helped me a lot.
See, it's funny. This is like a parallel, Zack. I'm just thinking about, when you were a young professional, and you had these experiences overseas, where you would spend training with the first team, and then you would go down and play with the reserves and everything like that. So because you had been through that, like, are you able to talk to Adams like, look, this is what you do when you fly in, and you're with the second team, and you've been with us all week. Like, these are little things that you should kind of look for, little tricks.
I mean, I don't even need to do that. Adam is so professional, and I mean, yeah, he's one of the most professional players on the team at 17. It's incredible, and so his ceiling is very, very, very high. So I don't even have to have those conversations with him, which is amazing. It makes my life easier, and Sharpie's life easier, and Adam's life easier.
Man, Zack, you're ruining the topic here, dude. Because Adam, you're too professional. I wanted like all this, and he's like, nah, man. He's actually he's doing great. Nothing.
He is.
No notes.
He is,
no notes.
I mean,
and Mike, it's probably it is why he is where he is. It's probably because of exactly what you've just said there. I mean, to be fair, it's a compliment to Ad. He's, and to be honest with you, it's probably a compliment to Z as well, because Ads has now got someone else who is, and been through everything. But Z is unbelievably professional, and Adam's looking at going, if I want to get to that, point in my career, I have to do this on a daily basis as well. So you go back to being a role model. It's, I'll be honest with you, in the last 6 months, Z's come in and held that standard, and Adam's gone bang as well, because now he knows, he's seen it on a daily basis. So is Ethan as well, what it's going to take to be the best. Which is it's a phenomenal thing to have.
I mean, so maybe this topic shouldn't be about like the veterans' role in the learning environment. Maybe the role should be about Adam's role in the learning environment, because he seems to be running the show now. No, I do want to kind of throw these images kind of back up here really quickly and stuff like that, because I wanted to see it, but like Adam, like when I watch you, you don't move like a 17-year-old, and I know that sounds weird or whatever, but like a lot of 17-year-olds are like over anxious, overzealous in regards to their movements. You're much more disciplined in your movements, and we're going to see that in some of your game actions and stuff. Like the fact that you're able to hold, and I want to see that and everything. Have you always been wired that way, or has that been like being in this environment that you've just like learned how to be patient?
Yeah, it's something that Sharpie has kind of helped me every day and pound into my head, but it's just all the little details and little bits of information from Sharpie and also the other goalkeepers around me, like being with Zack and also Will last year, and just trying to take in all that information and because they all have their strengths and me just trying to be open-minded and watching them and trying to learn from them too. But yeah, it's all just trying to take in those bits of information and put it into my game as quick as possible.
You know, I want to throw these images back again here because like it seems Sharpie, you know, and Zack, you can attest for this or not, is that Sharpie wants to make sure that the environment is beneficial, you know, obviously for the topics and the scenarios that you're going to be seeing in the match actions, but he wants to make it an environment where everyone's growing and it's not just you, Zack. Does that sound about right?
Absolutely. And that's like one of my pet peeves is when the keeper coaches just focus on the first string keeper and only his development, how he's going to be ready for games, how he's going to grow. And then he kind of pushes off the second and third string. I'm very inclusive. So, yeah, Sharpie's operation is incredible. The amount of effort and energy he puts into us and work and time and thought. Yeah, it just makes you want to go out there and yeah, I mean, just, yeah, do everything you can to win games and make him proud and get shutouts and play as best as you can.
I mean, that's, you know, obviously, you know, that's important, but just, you know, Sharpie, you know, you hearing that, you know, again, not trying to toot your own horn type of a thing, because I know you're a humble guy and everything like that, but I know how much time and effort you not only put into your session design, but caring for each individual to make sure that they feel like they're important. And what Zack was speaking about there is so common, especially with young professionals, which is why they either, you know, leave the game earlier than they should, or don't end up ever getting to the position that they should have, because nobody ever really gave them the time.
Yeah. I think one of my philosophies in what we do here, I have 4, 5, 6 guys, 7, 8, 9, if you look after the guys in the academy, which I do, to really get to know and understand. You know, obviously I've known Adam for 3, 4, 5 years now, 3 years in our environment. So, you know, but I think getting to know the person away from the football field, their family environment, you know, obviously Z's a new father. We all know how that can be stressful the last 6 months as well. You know, so I think for me, getting to know, everyone's got a different situation. Everyone's got a different family environment. Everyone's got a different, you know, dynamic when they get away from the football field at home. It doesn't matter to me, but it's also very important that I know about these situations, because then, you know, that is leaning and tendencies towards people's moods on any given day and where we can push them and pull them and kind of give them a little bit of leeway and not. But that's, you know, going back to what Z said, that it's important to me that everybody, and also too, we're trying to build a profile of a goalkeeper at the club, the way that the boss wants to play, high lines, you know, front foot, aggressive vertical football, aggressive goalkeeping. So these guys are all, you know, a little bit different in their own senses, but we're trying to get to a common goal here, which is, you know, if, you know, Z goes away with the national team, Adam steps in and it's just you know, not even a change of it. It's just a commonality that, you know, Ethan has to go in and play the R2s on the weekend. He's with us all week. Like Adam said, he's with us all week as well. And then he has to go in on Sunday night and play after our game. You can see in this clip here, young Zack Campagnolo, a U17 goalkeeper. You know, he's with us 2 or 3 times a week on any given week, and then he goes and does his stuff with the 17s and R2s. So I think for me, it's just that all-inclusiveness, but also not just on a football field, but understanding, you know, what the guys are going through away from the football field is also equally as important to me.
Well, you know, I just love what you just said there, Sharp, because I was just thinking about that, Zack, like in regards to, like, we talk about a veteran, your life and Adam's life are very different right now in regards to where you are, not just on the soccer field, but in life. So like you're going to have different needs, different demands than Adam is, you know, and the coach has to be accommodating to that, right?
Absolutely. And yeah, there's got to be transparency. There's got to be honesty, and communication. And Sharpie, from day one has stated that if there's anything that I need or my family needs or Adam or any of the goalkeepers need, at any hour, he'll be there for us. Just as long as we're being honest and open line communication. And that's not, you don't get that everywhere. So that's very special, and yeah, you can't take it for granted.
You know, I would say the Sharpie's teaching, you know, Adam how to, fill out his tax forms and all of that. But I'm guessing that Adam probably already has a solid, 401k, and he's got
his paycheck. How do I get his paycheck?
Oh my gosh. Well, I want to get into some of these actions of these two guys right here, Sharpie. So it's really cool that you're here on here, because we can get your perspective as well too. And now I get to see how Adam breaks down film of Zack, and Zack breaks down film of Adam. So I want to throw some of these up here. So let's see if I can get some of these up here. And where are we? Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay. So want to start. Yes. Okay. So I want to start with this clip right over here. And I believe this is Vancouver. I think it's Levante Johnson just kind of gets ahead defenders. Zack kind of drops for depth. Then he kind of recognizes the shape, the angle comes out. And this is what we're talking about in regards to like being disciplined in your movements. Like when he goes into the spread, he's in a positive shape. He's not in a negative shape, opening up that gap to the back. So it's just a nice clean save from Zack. I think that was top of your hand, wasn't it, Zack? Right there.
Yeah, left hand. Yeah, and that's what we work on. It's hands up. And it's not easy. Yeah, you're right, to keep a positive body shape.
Yeah. So what do you see? What are you seeing here, Adam? Anything you're seeing?
It's a great save. And it's something that we work on a lot in training, and but yeah, it's a great save, and I was able to watch it live, and I think it was the Cincinnati game, maybe and the before that, and the ball might have gone over, and then this one he corrects it, and that just shows you how good of a learner and a goalkeeper he is, and but yeah, it's an incredible save.
See, I love the shape here. I love the positive movement, Sharpie, and also the fact that the hand up, the near post hand up like that, is what makes that save right there. I see so many young goalkeepers when they go down into that spread, that hand is down at an angle, so it's extremely difficult for them to be able to shoot it to make that save. Anything you see here that you want to break down?
I think that Adam makes a really good point there. I think 2 games prior to that, I think it was Cincinnati, Corey Bird ducked into almost the same spot. Corey Bird digged it over at Zack's left shoulder. So almost a similar, actually the same position. But when we broke the film down, we talked about how can we take away more space? What are our hands doing in relationship to our feet? And this is literally probably 10 days later in the exact same scenario. We worked on it at training, and the shape right there, like I said, the guys, I couldn't pick them up and put them in a better position, in a better shape. It's perfection. But again, Adam makes a wonderful point. It's video room, it's learning, it's the training process, and it's the adaptation to the situation, and that's the result. The outcome is right there.
Go ahead, Zack. You were about to say something?
No, I wasn't
going
to say anything.
Okay, I thought you were about to point something out. No. I love what Sharpie said right there in regards to that adaptation, because again, this is why you're at the level that you're at, because you don't go, oh, I've already gone through the scenario over and over and over again. This is the way I do it. This is the way I do it. This is the way I do it. You go, oh no, something isn't working here. It's not being successful. So how can I make that adjustment? And is this just through muscle memory, or is it a conscious decision in these actions?
Like in this play?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's so tough, man. That's such a good question. I mean, because every situation is slightly different.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's just through looking at the clips, like Sharpie said and Adam said, looking at the clips, and then going back out on the field and trying to recreate those situations of uncomfortability and yeah, finding those areas that we can work on and grow in the fine margins. And yeah, I think the training obviously helped me with the timing and the speed and the closure and everything.
Yeah. By the way, Adam, we are going to get to clips of you, so don't worry. It's not just going to be a Zack fest. Like we're going to be breaking you. We're going to be breaking you down too. I want to throw this up here. This was in the 46th minute. I think it's Christian Espinoza serves an inward kind of a corner from it. I think it's going towards the near post right here, and I think it kind of goes off Preston Judd, and then Carlos Opaco. Does he get a piece of it, or is it just going in that space, Zack, and so you just play it away from the dangerous area?
Yeah, it was just I think it was Alfredo Morales who headed it, and then it was just reaction. That was just reaction. And fortunately enough, I was able to get my hands behind it because honestly, in the game, I thought they were going to call a goal. I wasn't sure if it crossed the line or anything, and then did somebody block it here? I think Ali blocked the second shot, which was that was huge for us. You know,
I'm looking at this. I mean, I know how you say just reaction and everything like that, but again, I think it is one of those things where it's like the more and more you see these pictures, the more and more your body has an idea of what to do. Because one of the things that, Sharpie, I think we've talked about this before, is about improvisation within the moment. Is like, don't try to pursue every action the same way, because every scenario is kind of different.
Yeah. I think too, like this is a week that we worked on quite a bit of crossing guys, wasn't it? Just because we knew that they were pretty strong from the set piece, pretty strong. And obviously Christian Espinoza whipping in balls from Zack's left-hand side. They did a lot of work on just the hand shape on the head, not dropping our hands down, getting our hands in a good mid-range position, letting our feet do the work below and our hands do the work above, and also getting settled quickly. It doesn't matter. The perfect position, a good position, an advanced position, wherever the ball makes contact with either their player or ours, getting our feet settled so we can react, like Zack said. But, I think that if you watch from the beginning of the clip, the movement he has back into that near post and on contact when Morales actually heads it, he's dead still. His hands are in the perfect position. And it's a big time save. Like it's a minute after half time. We talked at half time. They hadn't had any set pieces yet. They're a very good team from set pieces. They were trying to hit us in the near post area, or we're going to, something we reminded on right on the way out. And this happens literally 30 seconds after the kickoff at halftime. And, we actually go on to win this game. And moments like these are the reasons why.
Adam, how often are you with the first team on the bench for games versus like there's an overlap with C2?
Every week.
Yeah.
Every week?
Every week.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's amazing. I mean, talk about a learning environment for you to be able to be there in person, to be able to see these types of things. And then Sharpie, do you guys have conversations about these? For Adam, again, I know Adam is a grizzled professional veteran in his own right, but do you ever hey, what did you see here or anything like that?
I'll let Adam discuss, but I actually walk down the bench and sit with Adam during games, don't we, Ads? And talk about certain things. So, or I turn around and look at him if they're there behind me, and we have a conversation while it's going on.
Just little stuff from the week, and like if we scouted out something, and I think it was this game. What player was it? Coming in that angled shot.
Espinoza.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he had like 3 or 4 in the first half. Just like little stuff like that. And he kind of turns around and he's like, "Yeah, that's exactly what we worked on."
Pat on the back.
Yeah.
You get a little bit lucky sometimes,
Yeah. Hey, goalkeeping's a little bit of luck, and we always just play it off as like, we've been training that, we've been working on that, we've been working on that ball lifting in the air, the wind catching it, bending over to the left hand, his side, our hand happens to be there. We worked on that. That was like all in the training session designed. This one right here is big time. This is an interesting one. This is I think it's LAFC, right? This is LAFC.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think the ball comes in, it comes off Tillman. It's lifted towards the top of the box. And then Dennis Bwanga just decides, you know what? I'm just going to one-time hit this ball to the near post, see what happens. Bullet. Zack's like, nah, I got this. Right over the top of the bar. Great positioning, great shape. I love the follow-through too, Zack. I think a lot of young goalkeepers, they make contact and then their action stops. And then they wonder why it goes in the back of the net because they don't follow through on the action.
Absolutely. You got to have strong wrist, strong hand. But yeah, this was all about getting sets, trying to see the ball through people and just staying focused on the shot. I mean, that ball could have gone anywhere, and I mean, I was surprised that it went up there. It was an incredible hit from him off a one-time volley. So
it seems like an obstructed view, Sharpie. Am I right?
Yeah, we talk a bit about, a lot about this, but not chasing. So obviously the header goes back out towards the 18-yard box, but a lot of the young goalkeepers step forward. They like, obviously the ball goes out, the line squeezes. They like to go with the line as well, which is in certain moments is not a bad thing. But you can see from the movement here when Zack backs off on first contact, he's nice and settled there. But you watch where he makes the final, and I know it cuts out a little bit, but you watch where he makes the final action from. He's not gone forward 2 or 3 or 4 yards, which gives him more time to react when it comes through the bodies, but probably a better chance to see the ball as well.
For sure.
That's actually a really good point right there, Sharpie. You know, I mean, Adam, I know, you know, personally, you know, myself as a younger goalkeeper and even as an experienced goalkeeper, I have such a tendency to want to, when a ball is lifted towards the top of the box, to want to step forward. But in reality, like, that is a negative situation because all I'm doing is putting myself in no man's land, right?
Yeah, and I think when you add the bodies in too, it makes you want to stay a little bit more because just so you have that time to see the ball. But yeah, it's definitely something that you want to do is go forward with that back line. And then that a lot of times when those volleys are dipping like that, it's really easy to kind of hit you over your head. And so yeah, he did really well to stay there and made a great save.
Yeah. By the way, Zack, do you mind indulging me in just one more clip of you? Because I think it's really beneficial because I think this is just such a thing that I talk about with young goalkeepers about how the game now is. It's all about being in a high position and then having to drop for depth more so than being in a negative position and having to come forward. Just because of the way the game is played and how many goalkeepers are in higher line positions consistently. So this is against LAFC again too. There's a negative pass situation here that's intercepted. And then you're kind of already in a high position. So you kind of just stay nice and high in this area right here. And continue high and make a great save. So you're just moving on that lateral line as opposed to trying to steal space or drop to try to create depth. Like you're just like, I'm already in a position here. All it is about just following and shadowing the ball. Am I right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I like to stay high. I like to cut off that angle, of course, for them and knowing that my center backs are coming back to press, putting pressure on them. Yeah, it makes it harder for them if I'm deep in the 6 and inside the 6, then he's got more of a goal to shoot at, and so I like to stay high and try and stay big and try and time that touch so I can spread. I like to spread, and we actually worked on it today. These same situations where there's turnovers and balls through. And just
by
chaos.
The way, did anybody else hear that phone?
Yes, I did.
Did anybody else hear that phone call just come through while Zack was talking right there, or did that just come through on my end? Anybody else hear that?
I heard it very softly.
Okay.
I didn't hear it. No.
Oh, you heard it very softly. I heard it very, very loudly, and I was like, "This is the best time for someone to make a phone call. If you could please call me in the middle of a live podcast, that would be that would be
I'm surprised you don't have your phone on Do Not Disturb.
You know what? That would be what an adult would do. That's what Adam would do.
That's what I did.
That's what. Oh, dude. You're right. That's what I should have done. Is put it on Do Not Disturb. That's a good lesson. We're always learning.
About lessons, huh? Yeah,
learning,
exactly.
Mikey, learning.
It's the learning environment. This is the conducive learning and inclusive learning environment that Sharpie creates. Well, everyone feels comfortable sharing with each other. All right. Sharpie, anything you want to add to that? Adam, anything you want to add to that, to what Zack was saying here?
I mean, just for me, like, these are scenarios I can learn from, and because in these like close range scenarios, I like to almost turn my body, and my head almost turns with it. And as I try to get big, and you watch Zack here, and he's literally staring at the ball the entire time, and it makes his body look so big and square towards it, and just learning from that and watching it every day. Like today, we did the same thing, and it's good to see it and try to pick up on those little things.
Dude, I love the fact that you brought up the head tilt thing. You know, Sharpie, this is something I bring up with young goalkeepers all the time, is that just the slight movement of the head is going to affect your shape right there, and just open up enough space for a player to get it underneath you.
Yeah, I think Adam and I talked about this today. When you turn your head or your chin goes, your shoulders turn, which turns your arms, which turns your body, which you go from. I mean, if you were standing directly behind Zack right now, which I was today, the amount of room that the striker has to aim at is very small. You know, and if, like I said, you know, you put your sternum in the middle of the ball, you keep your head square, your shoulders stay square, your arms look bigger, your feet can block at a width of your body rather than even the turning. You know, you just make everything that much more complicated for the person on the ball with that much less time too, you know.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to some Adam clips, and you guys have noticed that it's gone from high definition to a little bit of a lower video quality. Shout out to the stream from the US Open Cup. First off, Adam, is Azteca, is that a men's team or is that a pro team? Azteca.
Men's semi-pro, I think it was.
Men's semi-pro. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Men's semi-pro. Because I was trying to find the names of these players, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know where to find these guys.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit difficult. So let's just say number 8. There's a layoff towards the near post to number 8 from Arizona. Adam, you kind of stayed nice and tight with the near post right there. Shot is hit, and it's a great shape. Again, you had your space covered. Again, you play the ball away from the dangerous area.
Probably. Did it come off your noggin?
It was shoulder.
Did it?
Left
Luckily.
Let's look at. Hold on, we got to see that again.
I had too many off my head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, haven't we all? All right, so we see Zack amazing again, and then after all this, here it comes back. Okay, layoff, player. Yeah, and that's a shoulder. Is the shoulder? That's not head. That's definitely not
big.
Head.
Big.
Yeah, man.
Arms
up.
He stayed big.
Big.
Yeah.
Patient. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and the best part about that is when the ball kept going to his left, he didn't start to go forward and open the gap up to his left. He actually, you can see it here when it comes through. Look, and he goes left just here now. He'll go left, immediately left, right there.
Yep.
If he steps forward there, a good striker is probably going to look to slide it underneath his left foot, you know.
Yep.
But again, you know, he's
that's a
really to the shot high near post.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point, Sharpie, that you're bringing up right there. I Adam, again, obviously, you've been in a great environment where you've been able to, see a lot of different scenarios and break them down and everything like that. But one of the things, especially for younger goalkeepers, I think they need to understand that less is more sometimes. Like they think like, oh, I got to do something else. I got to do something. It's like, dude, you already have the angle covered. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like you're there. Like there's nothing for you to do other than just wait.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the patience. Sharpie talks about a ton. It's having that patience to be able to put the pressure on the striker and not open up gaps. But it's hard. It's something that we work on almost every day, and being able to have that patience while the ball might be still rolling, and to be able to just stand up and say, beat me, and not open up those little gaps by maybe leaning or trying to go forward too much or moving.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny that you said that, because like, Zack, do you think like intrinsically as goalkeepers, we just kind of feel like we need to affect at every moment as opposed to just react?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to save everything, because when we don't save things, as humans, as when we don't save things and we get scored on, we're critical, and we kind of pick and prod at, well, what we could have done better. And I think naturally us as humans, we just want the easy road and to coast and to do well and win every game and get shutouts and make every save, but that's not possible. It's not how it goes. And so, yeah, just to trust yourself and be patient and yeah, it goes a long way.
Speaking of being patient, I love this clip right here, Adam. So this is in the 27th minute against Sporting KC, and Linus Vargas lifts a ball towards the near post towards Sebastian Cruz. It's kind of a sick ball right there, honestly. And you just a fantastic position hold. You don't try to chase that ball. It comes in too fast. You're like, you know what? Let me wait and see what happens with this ball, and you clear it right off the line right there.
Yeah, I mean, like Sharpie said, it's trying to just get balance on contact, and even if you're not in the perfect spot, just giving yourself a chance, and then not trying to open up those gaps by maybe leaning or trying to get to that perfect spot. So yeah.
Yeah, he's really good feet here. I mean, he's very aggressive. He wants to go get it, and but then he gets his feet back and gets set in a great spot. Really well done,
Zach. That's a great point.
And then he makes the save look easy because it's right at him, because it's good positioning, it's great footwork.
And I love what you kind of said right there, because it's something that Saskia always says is like, try to never have one mistake followed by another mistake type of thing. So he immediately recognizes his choice, his decision was going to be not the right decision, and so he retracts that and goes more in a lateral movement with a little bit more depth type of thing. Sharpie, is this something that you guys work on?
Yeah, I think for me too, like, he makes a quick decision here. The ball gets dinked over the top, and does have a look to see if he can come, which is what we would talk about all the time. You have a first step to have a look, but don't go second, third, and fourth step, and then you get stuck in a position you really don't want to be in. But he has a step, maybe a step and a half here, right there, bang, and now he's made a quick decision, and he buys himself time to get settled. Again, like Zack said, he's set when the ball is struck. Someone might say, he hit it straight at him, but if he's not in the right position, the ball's not right at him, if that makes sense. If he gets stuck somewhere else, let's say he's 4 yards higher there because he did start to come and realize he couldn't get there, it's a quick decision, but a realization halfway through that he can't get there. So hang on, now I've got to concede a little bit of space and make sure I'm settled on contact. Maybe not the perfect position, but he made the save look very, very simple.
And I think, and again, like, we said, sometimes goalkeeping, guys come down to luck in regards to like, where the player hits the ball and everything like that. But all we can do, Adam, is play the percentages, right? And just, go like, this is most likely, if I do this, there's a better chance of me being able to be successful than X. Yeah,
and that for me is just getting balanced. I think for me, that if I'm balanced, that gives me the best opportunity to make the save. And like Sharpie said, even if you're not in the best position.
So this last clip I want to show right here. By the way, first off, Adam, Zach's looking at these. He's like, man, I'm glad I don't play on fields with these types of lights anymore. How do you even see the ball, dude? Like, what is going on here?
I think this might have been after like a rain delay or something.
Oh my god! Oh man, this is the word. They need to put a neon ball out there, dude, for you guys. This is like late in the game too. This is like 90th minute plus type of a thing. I'm not going to throw up the score right there, but it wasn't a great day for you guys. No. What I love about this is that you're like, it's not like, well, the game's done anyway, I'm switching off. You're playing up until the last minute of the whistle, regardless of what the result is, regardless of what the score is right there. And I think that's massive, and that shows that you're a true professional, because I can't tell you how many 17 or 18-year-olds, when the score is, 2 or 3-0 down, and it's like the nearest 90 minutes, they're thinking about like dinner or, meeting up with their girlfriend or whatever type of thing. And you're like, nah, man, I'm going to end on a good note right here. So Cielo, I can't even pronounce this name. I think it's Shrinet, something like that, dribbles inside the box from the wing, and he kind of unleashes just a bullet at you, just a bullet. And again, good shape. You keep it positive. And then it's what I love here is the recovery movement. Again, job's not done. You're like, I'm going to keep shape. I'm going to know where that ball played away to, and I'm ready for that second ball. Again, 90th minute extra time, 17 years old. Like, dude, like that's big time. That's big time.
Well, thanks. I think for me, obviously probably that around that time I was pretty mad because the score wasn't going our way. And, I think it's just trying to stay in the present moment as much as possible and not thinking about maybe those goals that went in and then just trying to do the best you can in those in that present moment and trying to make the most of it because the game's not over until it's over. So, there's always a chance of maybe scoring another goal or another goal. And, and in this scenario, it's just, just like I said, just getting balance and just making it safe.
Zach, anything you want to add to the breakdown of this play right here when you're watching it?
Smoke that, huh? Yeah, no. No, I think what you said in the beginning about being professional and finishing game all the way through is huge and massive. And you see people all the time not do it. You see goalkeepers do it, and they make the save, and their career, you can see their career just kind of go up, and because they have that mentality of professionalism and that they want to get better and that they care and all that. So, and Adam definitely has that, and so it's great to work with him.
It's interesting you guys all brought that up because I'm just like thinking about this, Sharpie, in regards to like it's also like a respect thing in regards to the club. I'm given this opportunity to play in this moment right now. Like if I don't give it my all, that's a disrespect towards the players in front of me. That's a disrespect towards the management. That's a disrespect towards the fans, because I'm putting my needs in front of theirs, being like, well, I'm upset. I don't want it. I don't want to keep going, Yeah,
I think a lot of it too is just self-pride above all else. I think that it doesn't matter. I can't speak for the guys here, but I'd rather win a game 1-0 than 4-1. I think most goalkeepers would say that. It's how many times did we come off the field this year 2-1, 3-1, and you were like, I would have loved that clean sheet. It's just that moment that, and I think what Ad said there, I was probably frustrated with the 2 or 3 goals previous to that. But you're also doing the boys in front of you a disservice, or the girls in front of you a disservice if you don't continue to see out the 94th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th minute. And even now in our games, post World Cup, where we saw it, that there's 98 minutes, 99 minutes, 101 minutes. So you really got to be on for, 100 minutes really. The second half of games is 55 minutes long at this point, 53 minutes long, 54 minutes long. So I think it's all inclusive.
Yeah. Guys, first off, I appreciate you guys taking all this time. I know it's a busy schedule. You guys are in the middle of the season right now. Adam, you just got back with the national team, so I'm sure you're still jet lagged and all that sort of thing. And, Zach, I don't even know how many 1 or 2 hours of sleep you're getting at home a night with the baby and everything like that. But, before we kind of wrap up and everything like that, like, first off, Zach, do you have any advice to any like veteran goalkeepers that have kind of for the first time are in an environment where like they've played at levels, they've been in environments where some of the other goalkeepers are working with have never seen before?
Yeah, my advice would just be selfless. Spread that knowledge and experience and support the other goalkeepers, and you'll get a hell of a lot more back to yourself, and the group will be better for it. So yeah, that would be my advice.
Yeah, Adam, what about a young professional stepping into their first team season?
For me, I would just say just being open-minded to everything and really just do you. And you're there for a reason, and they want you for you being yourself. For me, it's really easy to go and to different environments, and maybe try to be like the other people in it, and try to mold into that. And I think that's what makes you unique is you being yourself and holding yourself to your morals and just being you.
Yeah. And Sharpie, last but not least, what is your advice to any young coach who finds himself in this type of an environment with a kind of a promising young professional who really really needs reps, needs games, and a veteran, who's there that you still got to be serving?
Yeah, I think first and foremost for the coach, it's when you are recruiting your goalkeepers or scouting your goalkeepers, there is more than just, are they able to kick the ball at the back of the net? It's what are they going to bring to your environment? What are they going to bring to the culture of the locker room, the team? For us as a football club, signing Zack Steffen this year has done wonders to our football club, wonders, things people don't even see. We are where we are because of what Z's brought to our locker room, along with the additions of, Georgi Mihalovic and Omir Fernandez and all these guys and what they bring. But the level has been raised twofold. And now we're in a position to have a strong run in the backside of the season. And people don't see that every day. But it's the selflessness of the individuals that are in the environment. And Z makes a wonderful point earlier. For me, in my methodology, there's not just one goalkeeper at the football club. I have to continue to develop Z. I want Adam to develop, Ethan to develop, Marco to develop, the young goalkeepers, Zack, Leo, Kendall, all the boys to continue. And they have personal and individual goals that I would like to help them achieve. But if they're all achieving, if they're all striving to be the best they can, Adam's pushing Zack, Ethan's pushing Adam, Ethan's pushing Zack, it's an environment then you're going to find progressive development comes very, very quickly. And there is a time of learning. There'll be, like Z said at the beginning, there'll be ebbs and flows, 100%. But at the end of the day, trust the process, because I'm telling you right now, you'll come out the other end of it on top every single time.
Yep. And you'll be getting people on podcast writing comments saying, look at this amazing environment that you create. So that's the whole reason to do it, guys.
Goal,
is for the
That's
the goal.
It's a goal.
The goal on that. Well, guys, first off, for those of you guys who are unfamiliar, Sharpie is a mentor on the Union platform. If you guys aren't familiar with it, go to theuniongk.com to learn more about it, or download the Union GK community on Apple or Google Play stores. Sharpie, appreciate, I know you've worked with a few players and young coaches, on the platform, and guys, Sharpie's out there. Use that resource. So there's other people out just like Sharpie, other MLS coaches, other NWSL coaches. Even I'm on there. So if you want to mentor by me, feel free. I don't know if you want to start a podcast or what do you want to do exactly, but feel free to reach out my office hours too. Zack and Adam, if anybody wants to connect with you guys, where's the best place?
That's a great.
They're like, no comment. How about don't reach out?
Yeah. No, I'd say my phone number, but which is hard to get. So Instagram. If anybody has any questions, just hit me up on Instagram, and I'll try and find you and get back to you.
And Adam's already such a consummate professional. He's already disconnected all his social medias. He's like, I'm done. I don't need this anymore.
Not a bad shout, kid.
I actually did that last week. So
there you go.
Did you really?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every time I leave, I just shut it all down. But
why's that?
Man, dude. What are you, like 42?
Focus.
Just a focus, yeah. Okay. Oh, wow.
Okay. Just a focus.
Not many kids like that, Mike.
Not many adults like that either, Sharpie. Have you been around lately?
Ads. I saw a question that was posted on social media in your camp last week. Would you rather lose your social media or lose movies and not be able to watch any TV ever? What did you pick?
Ooh.
No social media.
What did the majority of the team pick?
Movies.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's where we're at right now.
Yeah, that's bad.
Oh my God. Guys, make sure you're following me, Michael Magid Comedy, on all social media platforms, michaelmagidcomedy.com. I've got shows in Nevada this weekend. I will be headlining in Pahrump, Nevada on Friday at 7:30. I am doing this completely right now just because of the fact that you just brought that up right now. But if you guys do want to come out to the show, seriously, we do appreciate the support.
When you come to Denver, Mikey?
I would love to come to Denver. Last time I was there was at what was the name of that club? It's not the Improv, the other one that you guys have in Denver.
Comedy Works?
Oh my God. Yes, Comedy Works.
Yeah.
I was there with Josh Blue years back.
Great guy. Great guy.
Yeah,
I saw him at Tim's
really
Hall of Fame thing. He's a wonderful guy.
He's really good. And a huge soccer
yeah.
guy. Huge soccer guy.
Yeah, huge.
I think he played on the I forget what the name of the team is the team for people with neurodiverse people or whatever.
Yeah. That group did very, very well. Yeah. Very good.
That's amazing. Obviously, guys, reach out to us at Goalkeeper Podcast on the Union platform if you have a guest suggestion or topic suggestion, or contact at insidethe18media.com. Don't reach out to Adam because he shuts down his social media. Reach out to Zack because he's got like 100 million followers. So might want to go on the comments. DMs might be difficult for him to get right over there. And if you want to reach out to Sharpie, he'll probably just give you his cell phone number. He's that type of guy. All right, guys, that's all the time on Inside the 18, and we are out. Guys, stay on for a second. Later.